Okay, would you rather... Oh my God. All right. Would you rather watch your parents have sex all your life or join in one time to make it all end?
Wait, what? What the fuck? Oh, shit. Oh, no. I don't even want to think about that.
Bro. So do you have any questions before we actually get started? I didn't really get to ask you that because we kind of just started going.
Oh, I know.
Which tends to happen.
Yeah.
It's something about these chairs, dude. I don't know what it is. When people sit in them, they just get it gone.
They're the truth chairs.
Yeah.
The truth chairs. The chairs of truth.
The chairs of truth.
The chatterbox chairs or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyways, do you have any questions or
no,
anything
really.
like that?
No, I'm just chilling, man.
All right, cool. Just making sure. Also, too, you know, this isn't live, obviously.
Yeah.
So, like, so technically, what I like to say is like, if you start going down something and when you start thinking back on your drive to the car, because this happened to me before, or especially what happens is like someone after come on the podcast, they'll go home and then maybe drink or something, and then they'll text me like, oh my God, I'm freaking out.
Yeah,
that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like people will freak out and stuff, especially people that aren't like used to like putting out content, you know, especially long form content. But so if like basically what I'm saying is like if we get into like a conversation about something that's more sensitive and you like kind of rethink it and you don't want it in there, you could always let me know. I can just cut it. Okay, so I think that's what it's beauty about podcasting. Like you can cut anything and it won't even sound like it's cut.
Okay, yeah.
You know, so I'm just letting you know you do have that cushion there, so it won't be like I don't know if you've seen recently an NBA player said like an anti-Semitic thing on Twitch while he was streaming, and now he's out the league.
Oh shit! No, I did not see that.
Yeah, it just happened like yesterday. Oof. He's on the Heat. I keep forgetting his name. It's like I don't know.
Damn, cancel culture. I already got to. You just forgot his name.
Yeah, I forgot his name. He's gone already.
He's gone.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Canceled from my brain.
Yeah. So I'm just letting you know it's nothing crazy like that. So we can cut anything. So and you can cuss. Don't be afraid to cuss if you want, or
right.
if you do or not. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and get it popping, dude.
All right, cool. Sounds good, man.
Pull this up.
Cool.
Make sure.
Nice. I didn't get a chance to look around.
It looks cool.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.
I hope it's not weird that I'm sitting here.
No, I've had plenty of people sit there.
Judging you.
You could chime in too as well.
And I'm like off camera.
Cool. Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is Ishmael, and then the Pikachu is secretly speaking.
Yeah. That voice is coming from right there.
The voice is coming from the Pikachu.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Real shit. Real trap shit.
Real trap shit. You into Pokemon at all? Or never got into it?
Not really. I mean, I played the games before. I remember I did have the Pokemon cards, but I was never really like super into it. I think I was into like the first couple seasons whenever it was on TV.
Right.
And then I don't know. Afterwards, I just didn't watch it. I think I just gravitated to Yu-Gi-Oh, and
Yu-Gi-Oh was dope.
Like yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh was dope. Yu-Gi-Oh was dope.
Yeah. And
you're Lauren, right?
Laura.
Okay, I don't want to get it wrong on the mic. Start yelling at me. And it's just Ishmael, right?
Yeah, Ishmael.
Okay, just making sure. I don't know if you heard the episode where I forgot the guy's name.
Oh, no.
So actually, I didn't know. I never knew his name.
Oh, okay.
So what happened? It was kind of like it was similar situation to like what happened right here. Like, because remember I told you I was I was booked up till season 3, and then like if someone dropped out, like you could for sure fill the slot.
Yeah.
But so like I was barely starting out in season 2, so I was barely getting going. This guy hit me up and was like, "Hey, like, can I get on the podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." But I'm gonna be busy for like next 2 weeks or something like that. And what wound up happening, it was weird. I had like 3 or 4 cancels like all in a row, and I was like, "Damn it, I'm not gonna have a show for this next week." So I hit him up and I was like, "Yo," I was like, "Come by like this day. I think it was like a Sunday. Come by Sunday. We'll get it done." Blah blah. Like I was just in a rush, right? I sent him the message. He was like, "Yeah, dope. Let's get it." I was like, "All right, cool." Sent him that, and then I went to a wedding that same day. hit the wedding, of course, partied hard because it was one of my boys' weddings. So partied hard, and then woke up the next day. I wasn't like super hungover. I was just felt tired. You know what I mean? I didn't really feel like headache or nothing like that. I was just like tired. And then we woke up and like we're feeling good because we just had a great time. And then we're like, let's go get like brunch. So we get brunch, we have a great meal, come back, and I'm sleepy now. I'm like, man, I feel like a big nap. And I hit the guy up and I was like, hey man, I'm actually feeling really tired today. Like, can we go ahead and reschedule? Cause like, I don't like going into the podcast like super tired, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I just hit him up and I was like, and then I just sent it and I went to sleep. And I woke up and then he calls me. He calls me. He's like, hey man, like I'm at the gate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, because he never got the message because I sent it to him on Instagram. Okay. But he never got it. And so then he called me as at the gate and I'm like, oh damn it. And so I didn't get to prepare anything for it. And then he comes up and then like we're talking just how we are now. And then like I'm coming into the show and I'm like, all right, I have a great guest and his name is, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know this guy's name.
Oh shit.
Oh my gosh.
Like this guy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It was funny, dude. His name was Freddie. I know his name.
Okay, so it's
Like, no, you're never gonna forget it.
I'll never forget it. He actually made me that knife right there.
All right.
That custom knife, so it made me even feel more like an asshole. He was the first guy to bring me a gift.
Yeah.
And I forgot his name. Like that was.
So you do not just musicians, you do all kinds of different.
It's everything, yeah.
Okay.
It's becoming like a musician stop now though, because like it's just kind of naturally happened that way. Because I had a few artists on that were like more like friends and stuff.
Yeah.
That was D Banks and Central Coast Gia, and I had those two on. And then what ended up happening is they're part of a record label out there called Connect the Coast.
Oh, cool.
And so once I did like 2 episodes with them, the head of that record label named Lord Saintus hit me up and like he wanted to come on. He wanted to get all his artists on and things like that. And like next thing you know, like because he would always repost my stuff, put my stuff out, and like so I wanted to I have like a decent like listenership like out in the Central Coast. So it's like Paso to like Santa Maria.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know if you've seen the episodes like where I'm like in like this super nice studio.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, when we walked in, I'm like, oh, cool, it's all set up, but I was just like, oh, it doesn't look like that one place.
Yeah. So that's like another set. That's a studio in Santa Maria called Room 33 Recording Studios.
Oh, nice.
So that's like I go out there and I record like 3 or 4 episodes in like once because I just rent the studio. He lets me rent it for cheaper because I'm not like using any equipment. I'm just basically using the place.
Yeah.
And so like now that I'm out there more, like all the artists out there just like hitting me, not all artists, but like artists are like hitting me out there and like, oh, like your show's hecka dope, like I want to come on, so like it's kind of just becoming like a musical like place of like a podcast, but it's not just that, you know. That's kind of like, it kind of reminds me of like Joe Rogan, where like he has a lot of like UFC fighters on.
Oh yeah.
But then he also has like, you know, like Elon Musk and you know all these other people, and so that's kind of how I'm seeing the Sit Down now, where it's like musically like influenced, and like you can find great artists on the Sit Down, but you're also gonna get a lot more. You know, you're gonna be able to sit down with people like that are just becoming fathers. You're gonna be sit down with like hear about gaming stuff. You're gonna hear about like, you know, just real life shit. So you're getting music stuff plus other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like a little bit of everything, you know.
That's cool. Yeah, it's like a sport.
Yeah. So it's good music conversation, but it's also like we have all kinds of walks of life on here. So so it's a little bit of everything.
Nice.
But anyways, welcome to the Sit Down podcast, everybody. I'm sorry it took me so long to do the intro. But this is why you guys hop on the show. You guys hop on the show not for the showmanship, but for the conversation, because that's what it is. You know, it's my fucking game's really loud right now.
Ooh.
So I'm just like, it's blasting. I probably just blasted you guys' ears. I'm sorry. And he was like, oh my God. Yeah. I hope you guys are still with me. But anyways, welcome to the Sit Down podcast, guys. You can see the conversation's already going. We definitely have a bonus episode, dude, because all that pre-conversation was recorded.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so there is a bonus episode. It's going to be all about why we don't speak Spanish.
Yeah.
And also this guy's nine siblings. So great conversation. Be on the lookout for the bonus content that will be coming out. But this week it's pretty cool, man. I have a great guest, another music artist. As you can hear, like the Sitdown is becoming like a musical place, and it's nice to get an artist that is not from the Central Coast. No hate on the Central Coast. I love y'all. You know I have nothing but love for you guys. But we have somebody out here from Porterville, which is amazing because I don't know if anyone knows this, but I have roots in Porterville. That's where both my parents grew up and actually met each other and fell in love at, so that's like low-key, like my base is Porterville. Yeah. I have both my dad's side of my family over there, my mom's side's family over there. So like Porterville used to be my spot. I used to go there every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, New Year's. Like I used to be over there. I even like played on like a travel ball team for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
So, my guest today is Ishmael. Welcome to the Sit Down podcast, man. How you doing? How you feeling?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me. I'm feeling good. I'm chilling. I'm vibing.
Hey, it's real vibey in here right now, dog.
Yeah.
It's real vibey in here right now.
Yeah.
You like the set, dude? Does it feel good in here?
Yeah. It's cool. It's a vibe, man. Like, yeah.
You thought that other studio was in my apartment?
Yeah, no.
That would have been lit. That was the hardest apartment ever.
Yeah, because I saw a couple of episodes. I was like, oh, okay, I think that's probably how it looks. I can see the street. Like,
yeah.
And then we walk in, and I'm just like, oh, okay, it's different. Like, I know you explained it, but I was just like, all right, it's all good. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I like to have multiple settings. I've had a few outdoor episodes.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it really switches it up. It catches your attention. You're like, wait.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what is this?
Yeah. I'm like, oh, where's he at? Where does he really live? That's all I was like, oh,
hey, where does he really live? I love that.
Yeah.
You can't dial me in, man. Right. This is home base, everybody. This right here, when you see this set, this is how you know it's home base. And these are, honestly, this is where the banger episodes come out.
Yeah.
Because I'm most comfortable, obviously, because I'm in my own house.
Yeah.
Right? So I was preparing all day for this shit. So I'm going to start you off with something crazy, bro. And we don't have to even answer it just because it's low-key wild.
Oh, okay.
It's low-key bananas.
Oh, yeah?
I heard it on TikTok.
Okay.
and it's bananas, bro. But
yeah.
This might be the what we use to catch people's attention right here. And
okay.
I'm honest, I'm feeling weird bring it up. The reason why I feel weird and uncomfortable because I don't necessarily know how I'm going to answer it. So
yeah,
I'm going to bring it to you. Ready?
Okay. Yeah.
You sure?
Maybe.
All right, dude.
Nah, I'm good.
I'm getting scared, dude. All right.
All
right.
Yeah.
Would you rather...
Yeah. That's fine. What?
Okay, would you rather... Oh, my God. All right. Would you rather watch your parents have sex all your life or join in one time to make it all end?
What? What the? Oh, shit. Oh, no. I don't even want to think about that. Bro. Dude,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't know. I guess it's... I guess just watch. I'm just like, oh damn.
It's a bit much. Like either one is like,
yeah,
Awful.
Yeah, either one is awful, right?
Yeah. I'll just be like, oh damn, that's crazy. Like, but I wouldn't want to join them.
Every day, just oh damn, that's crazy. Every day, bruh. You'll be real fucked up when it catches you turning yourself on. When you start forgetting it's your parents.
What drink water?
Yo, you can't die and choke right here, bruh.
Wipe your face. You're freaking joking right now.
I thought I'd be okay.
You killed him.
They killed him.
He did.
This is the first murder on the Sit Down podcast.
For real. Every good day. Wait, was that part of the question? Like you watch him every day? Oh, never mind. I'll just do it.
He's like, I'll die.
Dude, I'm having a pretty good day. I don't know. I drank water because I was like, oh, I need some water, but that made me laugh a lot more than
Oh my
I
God.
thought. Woo, oh my God. Yeah, damn. So yeah, probably the second option. I'll be like, all right, once and never again. Like,
that would be crazy, bro.
yeah, that'll be wild.
Oh my god.
Like once and years of therapy to follow.
One time and then years of
Yeah, I'm just like, ooh. Oh man, I'm freaking dying, man.
I was real iffy about that one right there. Because I was like, bro, if he like bodies the answer and then brings it back to me, I'm like, I'm not gonna know what to say.
You're like,
Yeah, I should have.
But how could you body that answer? I don't know. Like maybe if you joined in and like you're just a camera guy. Like is that joining in?
No shit. I don't even know.
just go in one spank and you leave.
Yeah,
That would be weird.
Technically.
Oh my! It's even worse to talk about it with my mom in the living room.
Oh hell no!
I can't even like even have fun with it as much right now because it just feels too close to home.
Yeah.
She's all chilling watching TV.
I know, watching America's Top Model and shit.
Yeah.
But anyways, also I forgot to introduce your girlfriend, aka your manager, is in the background, guys. I'm sure she'll be chiming in and out.
Yeah.
Wifey?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually my wife, yeah.
Fiance or married?
Married.
All right, wife.
Yeah.
Her wife is in the background. She's off camera, so you don't see her, but I'm sure her voice will be in and out, and you already heard her laugh, so it wasn't Pikachu.
No.
So yeah, she's in the background, so you guys aren't you're like, who's that?
Right. Yeah.
Some ladies there.
Is that his mom? Did he just ask that question in front of his mom?
In front of his mother.
Oh, they're just the voices in my head. Like, it's all good. Yeah.
All right. We'll move on from that one. But also, too, throughout this episode, I'm gonna be dropping weird stuff like that. All right.
All right. Yeah. I'll try to be more prepared. Like,
No more water.
yeah, I know, right?
So we'll start off here, man. You're a music artist. So why music?
I feel like it just feels good to like express myself, man. Like even when I found it, like I would I started making beats when I was like 14. Oh, excuse me.
He's still dying. He's still having After Effects right now.
I know, yeah.
That was a weird switch, right?
Yeah, for real. I was like, ooh. Like, yeah.
You just like answered, yeah, I'm joining in on a threesome with my parents. So why music?
Yeah, so what music? Yeah. Just like I was like,
that's what we love in the sit down, man. The switch ups.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh man, I'm trying not to let that bother me. But yeah. Yeah, I started making beats. Remember, I was like,
it's so funny with switch. Yeah, I started making beats. Like it's just so hard to get back. All right, real seriousness. Let's get real here now.
Yeah.
See.
So, anyways, like just like. Yeah, I started making beats when I was like 14. That was like 2009. Me and my nephew would make beats, and it was cool. But then after a while, I was like, oh, I want to write too, because I think that's a pretty cool aspect to it.
Right.
And, as I got started perfecting my craft, I was just like, oh, it feels good to like. To like express myself.
You need more water to wash down your water, bro.
For real. I feel like yeah, ironically.
Alright, all jokes must cease while he drinks.
Let's get quiet.
Yeah, so anyways, it felt good to like, really like write out my thoughts and all that. And I was just like, oh wow, this feels good, working on the flow and whatever. And it was just as I got more like deeper into it, I was just like, hey, this is like, I really like this. Like, I love this. I love doing this.
Right.
So, yeah, I would make my own beats originally, but then I think in 2014, I started to like feel like I felt like they sounded good, but I was just like, when I listened to beats like on YouTube and stuff, there was, obviously these people, these producers are more advanced, and it sounded really like, oh wow, like I was so confined to, I feel like I was confined to whatever sound I made. Yeah. And there's so much more out there, and I'm just like, oh wow, this sounds really nice. Maybe I could like do something with this or that.
Yeah. That's where it starts, right? Mimicking, sampling, inspirations. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's funny because like I don't know who or where I got it from. Mm-hmm. I think it was a documentary, and it was basically like you spend all your life trying to make music like you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because like you start out like with like certain, you might hear like a Drake song, and you're like, man, I want to like just try to like make a song like Drake, and then you do that and you do that, and then you're like, oh, I hear, you know, like a Kendrick song, I'm gonna try to make a song like Kendrick, and you start doing that, and then next thing you know, like, but it's like, ironically though, like when you try to like copy something, it won't come out exactly like how they did it, you know. So you will wind up with something of your own, and then next thing you know, you're like, you start cutting out like, oh, I really like how I did that, and then next thing you know, you start coming up and developing your own sound.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like you spend all your life trying to perfect the way you do it. You know, so like that's kind of like what the process you went through early on, right?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, like my early like beats and all that stuff were inspired by like Drake and you know his producer 40, like their sound, and I really like that. I was like, oh, cool, that really like moody kind of vibe, and then, and then after a while, like I said, I feel like I realized, and by the way, all the songs I wrote to all those beats, I never recorded to them. It's weird. Like I never recorded to them, and then in 2014, I just made that switch. Like I said, I was listening to other beats on YouTube, and I was like, I feel like using these beats, like it gives me it's more of a challenge, really, because I'm not really a specific person.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be like message the guy like, oh, I like the beat, but can you do this and that? Because I know it'll cost more for that, and I get it. But I was just like, it made me like, oh, here's a challenge. Like I'm gonna use the beat as it is and see how I could work with it.
Right,
you know?
right.
And so after that, I would just I still have those beats to this day. I just never felt like I wanted to use them. I felt like if I really wanted to go back to the drawing board, I'd have to really like dissect everything. But anyways, I just used other beats. I was more into like around that time, it's more like real boom bap, kind of old school 90s kind of beats, and it was cool. But then I realized too, well, if I want to like really be out there, I gotta, I guess evolve my sound and trying to make something that like not only sounds good, but it's true to myself too, so people know like, oh yeah, I'm being myself or whatever, you know. It's a whole process. Like I used to, well, not used to, but I still listen to like people like Drake and J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar.
The leaders.
Like,
the leaders of this shit.
You know, and among many other artists, like, you know, that I listen to. So it was a weird time just trying to find myself, really, like in you know, in teen years, even now too, you know, like as you get older, it's like it's more just you still finding yourself, you know. Like,
well, it's because you change over time, right? We all change, so it's like the music you might once have made like back in your teens, you definitely aren't gonna make that sound anymore as in your, you know, mid-20s. You know what I mean? Because it's just way different between when you were 15 and 25. You know what I mean? So you started with beat making, and then you transitioned to writing, and then would you rap on beats and stuff like that, and then you kind of just made that connection between like
basically, I was just like writing, and then I started rapping like in I think it was like March 2010 actually, and like I got inspired by one of my friends, but I just started like, you know, rapping, trying to think like how can I go about this. Like I remember it's funny to think about it too. I remember my early rapping style was kind of like I tried to deepen my voice a little bit, kind of like you know how Dr. Dre's voice was. It's like, give me that bomb beat from Dre. Beat from Dre. I tried to do something like that, and then like when I listened back to the songs, I'm just like, why did I do that? Like, you know, it's like it sounds so corny. I'm like, it's very cringe. But I mean, that's all a process of
trial and error.
So I felt like I really found my voice probably 2014, and I just find all these beats on YouTube, and I don't know what people's opinions are on YouTube beats, but there's a lot of great producers on there, man. Like I'm just like, I find something, I'm like, oh shit, man, this is I start writing to it as soon as like it just hits, you know, with certain things. Sometimes it takes a little bit for some beats, and I'm like, oh, I get it, but like I said, I'll take them as is, and I will I'll buy like a lease on them, you know, so they could be more legit. I don't want to just that's what I was about to say. Like I think the stigma of YouTube beats is like it feels like stolen almost. You know, but if you take the proper ways to do it, like you're right, like there are like
talented producers that are putting their stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
And if you go and do your due diligence and like hit them up and be like, hey man, I really love this beat, can I purchase it off you or lease it from you or whatever, and do your groundwork, I think that legitimizes it. You know what I mean? Because everyone uses it, but I think it's real more like hush hush for certain people, you know, because it's probably because they are doing it wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're trying to sneak around certain things and stuff like that, but it's like that's why there's that stigma there for YouTube beats.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. And you know, it was funny because whenever I started doing that, I think actually in the beginning, when I would release mixtapes, I think I released my first one March 2015, but it was like I didn't buy the beats then, just because I was putting my stuff like on SoundCloud and
Right.
well, DAPIF and YouTube, and it was just like I still credit them like, oh, produced by, you know, whatever it was. And you know, it's funny, I was actually going by a different name back then too. All right, now I go by my name Ishmael, but back then I was going by a different name.
Deep voice ish.
Yeah.
Deepish.
Deepish. No, I was going by this name, Brian Martin. Like,
Brian Martin?
Yeah.
A whole different name.
Yeah.
Why Brian Martin?
You know, it was funny.
Family Guy?
No.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's funny. The first part, Brian. That was inspired by my mom originally wanted to name me Brian whenever I was born, but my dad was just like all of our names basically were like from the Bible. Like I have a sister named Mary, and then my brother Adam, and then Josh. Well, except Cindy. Or Cynthia, but you know, David, Ishmael, you know, like so he was like, he wants to name me Ishmael, and then my mom's like, no, I want to name him Brian, and then like, you know, like,
no, I want to name him Brian.
yeah. So then she's looked up the English version of Ishmael, you know, Ishmael. So, which I felt like when I see like Mexican American people or guys, their names are usually without the H in it, so it was even more weirder, I guess, you know. So it's like Ishmael. But anyways, so I was like, oh, Brian, and then I got Martin. I don't know, I was trying to think of like, what sounds like a real name, that because I never wanted to go by Lil this or Young that. Like, even though as artists I do listen to like that, like Lil Wayne or like he doesn't go by that anymore, but Jeezy, Young Jeezy, you know. Yeah,
there's a lot of them.
Lil this, Young that. I never wanted to do that. I felt like that wasn't me. You know? So I was just like, what if I came up with a real name that sounds like, I don't know, something. And then I chose Brian. I forgot where I got Martin from, but I just paired together. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. And I went by that for like 2 years, and in 2017 I changed my name to, you know, my real name. Actually inspired by her. She was like, oh, you know, if she was like, we were talking about it, we're like, oh yeah, it's kind of like unique and nobody's really, you know, like has that name. And I'm like, yeah, you know, maybe I'll just do that. And but yeah, so it was funny, Brian Martin, and people always thought it was kind of weird. I remember when I first put my stuff like on streaming platforms. There was a country singer named Brian Martin, so like it was just really weird. It was just kind of like, oh, where's my song? And then I look it up, and then just like, oh, Brian Martin is just like oil field dad and and then one of my songs, I forgot what it was. I think it was a song I had called Right on Time. So I was just like, oh, like you know, like it was like, okay then, you know. But yeah, you know, it was the whole, you know, like I said, the whole process of finding yourself, and I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna go by my name, just, you know, take it from there. And there are some artists who are named Ishmael. I seen like on Spotify. I'm like, oh, you know, and I'm thinking like, oh, I should change it again, but I'm like, you know what? Nah, it doesn't. Even
It's too late at this point.
It doesn't matter anymore. I'm just like, this is who I am. This is how I'm gonna, you know, trying to pursue this stuff. You know, just using my name and whatever. So. Yeah, I think I released like 4 projects under Brian Martin. And,
Martin.
yeah.
Hey, dude, if you ever blow up, bro, that's gonna be like it's like a little cult following. Right. Like, you don't know Ishmael unless you know Brian Martin.
Right.
Like, who the fuck's Brian Martin?
Right. Yeah. Exactly, man. Yeah, that's what's funny about it. I kind of always wanted to like bring like make a maybe a compilation album of those songs from that like era or whatever. I just never got around to it because I was just like just focused on making new stuff. You know, but that's always been an idea too. I'm like, oh, that'd be cool, like, you know, like highlights from like this mixtape.
It's a lot of work doing stuff like that, though.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot of work because I've thought about doing things like that, where like having like a I guess it would be like a clip show.
Yeah, yeah.
Where like I would just introduce like a show, and then I would just have like 5 to 10 minute increments of like all past conversations, and it'd just be like, you know, like walking down memory lane. But it's like really like a lot of work to go back and clip and then add to a whole new like thing, and then go to find an episode, and then you have to like go through like what clips do you even gonna get.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like which ones are the funniest, which ones are the like deepest, like all that stuff. It's just like a lot of work. It's more work than like it's like sounds. Like on paper, clip show, easy. You know, off work we already done.
Yeah.
When you like think about it, you're like, damn, that's gonna be rough.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this clip, or maybe this one. Maybe not this one. I don't know.
And you spend 2 hours and you only got 2 clips, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
No,
never mind.
You making the memes?
Yeah. That's how.
I'm like, are you making the meme? He's just like, oh yeah. I'm just like, oh well, I'm researching, like looking at other memes.
yeah.
That's a fine line, man. You walk down a fine line. Yeah. And I do that same thing when I make like my like other videos. I do like little skit videos and like other little funny videos on TikTok and stuff. And so I'm like trying to like to get like my juices going. And, you know, you go through, and the next thing you know, you're like, you forget you're even trying to make a video. Yeah, dude. It's a fine line between research and distraction.
Yes. Yeah.
That was a bar.
Yeah,
that was a bar. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, gotta write it down.
You can take it, dude. That'd be that sounds like a cool title: research and distraction. Fine line.
Yeah.
You know, something. I don't know. I'm not a music artist, dude.
Yeah. It's all good, man.
Oh, you straight. It's kind of crazy though. That like music for you has kind of been like a development of your own identity.
Yeah.
You know, like you had to go through like almost like learning yourself to be able to make your music as best as you can.
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. Like I remember even thinking, just because, well, you know, obviously I'm from California. It's like, even in the beginning, like I always thought, well, it's like around 14, 15, but I was just like, oh, I gotta make beats like Dr. Dre, or I gotta be West Coast, and what does that even mean? You know what I mean? Being West Coast, like whatever. And after a while, I'm just like, oh, there's so much more music out there. I don't have to make some G-funk kind of sound. I don't have to be this or that. I was just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was so much of that. Just like, how do I be? And I'm just like, oh, be myself.
How do I be?
Yeah. How do I be?
How do I be?
Yeah, because I feel like some people, they're stuck on that idea, like, oh, I'm from California, I have to make West Coast type things. And I have made songs that have like a West Coast feel, just because I'm like, oh, it's fun, you know?
Yeah.
But like, I know that when I'm on those beats, it's like I'm still being myself, whether I'm on that or like a more lo-fi type beat, or you know, any kind of thing, you know. So that took a while too, to be like, okay, this is not me, but I think what I'm making is more myself, you know. And it's therapeutic too, to even write and just be like, oh wow, like I really got what I was feeling in here on here. Like I'm like, okay, you know. So yeah, like how you said, just me finding myself, you know? And I'm still finding myself, you know. And the more I do it, the more I'm just kind of like, I look at some other people, I'm just like, oh damn, they still haven't found themselves. You could kind of like tell sometimes. I'm just it's kind of sad, but I'm just like, oh man, like I feel like I'm on the right path as far as like, you know, trying to pursue something.
Yeah, be authentically you.
Yeah,
because you have to be careful with things like that nowadays, because with like especially with like the internet, because like you never know what is gonna be like your ticket, you know, because every time you post, every time you make some kind of content, it's like you're like getting a lottery ticket and doing scratching, right? And you never know what it's gonna be, so you have to be careful, because like if you're just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna like do something that I know it's gonna be like hit or whatever it is, like you go outside and like do something that's not you and you blow up for that, everything else you do after that is gonna flop, because people are not gonna be looking at you for what you really are, you know what I mean? So it's like, if like right now, like say if this podcast blew up and like we were like doing something outside of like what the Sitdown actually is, and the next thing you know, like when they go look at the other episodes, you're gonna be like, this is trash, you know what I mean? Like so it's like you have to be careful about that too, because you can get caught in like a character of yourself, you know what I mean? Cause like if you go out and like you do something stupid, you're gonna be known as like that guy, you know what I mean? And you want to be that guy if you really aren't that guy. I mean, it's okay to be that guy if like you really are that, and like that's really what you enjoy doing, and like so then that's no problem, you know. But it's like you have to be careful, because if you blow up for something that's not you, then like, one, it's not gonna last long, and two, you're gonna be stuck like that. You know what I mean? So anytime that you're gonna like want to like get that again, you're gonna have to do something that's not you. You know, and then that's you're gonna spiral out of control.
Yeah, man. I see
like
that.
Boom Gang happened to him. Like that one dude that would like do lemon juice in his eyes, like all that different stuff. Like those errors, like if you get caught and stuff like that, they're not gonna look to you for doing something else. You know, because that's, people want to see more of that, if that's apparently who you are. But then you get caught in these. 6ix9ine's kind of caught in it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Lil Pump. Like people have gotten caught in these things. Like we've seen it. You know, you get caught in these, because like right now, like it's a gimmick. It's like I hate Look At Me thing, but that's not who. I mean, who knows? Like 6ix9ine really might be like that at this point. Like we've seen enough of it. But it's like, if you get caught in like that type of situation, now it will be hard to move forward with who you really are. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, definitely, man. Like, that was a weird era for me too. I remember 2017, 2018 with like Lil Pump and 6ix9ine, all that stuff. It was very confusing to me, because I was just kind of like, you know, every now and then you feel like frustrated, like, oh yeah, this song is gonna hit, and then it doesn't, and I'm just like, then you see all this, and I'm like, do I have to be like that to, you know, to blow up? What do I have to do? Like, and you know, obviously all that stuff's kind of like over with in a way. Like, I know 6ix9ine obviously is still making music, but I don't really listen to him. Like,
I've never listened to him.
No, I was like kind of like a low key listen to him. Like, there was like some songs I'm like, okay, I can't deny it, I like this, but I'm gonna be like a half-ass fan. I'm not gonna follow him on like Instagram and all that. I'm just gonna listen to it, but I never share that, oh, I'm listening to it. It's right. Low key. So I kind of like, like, you know, I can't deny I like the song, but I don't want to say like I like him. Like I said, maybe it's like, being like a half-ass fan, but I was like, I don't know. I'm just
half-ass fan is a great word. It's a great phrase. Yeah, that's a great phrase.
Because like every now and then I'm like, oh, I want to listen to that again, but I don't even follow him like on Spotify. I don't, like I said, I don't share that I ever listen to him, you know. But like there's some songs that I was like, you know, I can't deny I like this, but yeah, it was a weird era. Like, I remember just seeing like Lil Pump, 6ix9ine, Lil Xan, etc. Like, they had some good songs. I liked them, but I was just kind of like, how do I get out there? And it's all this trending. So it was very confusing for me. I remember I did rap on a couple beats. I made a few songs that were like, not like a super like SoundCloud era type thing, but it was kind of borderline that. But I was still being myself on the song. It was just a different kind of beat. And I look back on it and I'm just like, maybe I shouldn't have did that song or released that song, you know? Yeah. But it's already said and done. I moved past it, you know? Yeah.
It's the old you.
Yeah, exactly, you know? So it was just a weird time, man. Like, you know, sometimes that confuses you. It's just like, what's popping now? And then it's just kind of like, how can I get out there? You know?
How can you get your slice of the pie?
You know? And even being on like social media, a lot of times I share like in my story like just stuff I'm into, or like quotes, or what I'm listening to, maybe video of me just chilling or whatever. And I think we said earlier I have a meme page. I don't know a lot of artists that have meme pages, but like even that, it's funny. Like, I don't even know how to explain the content to you, because it's like OC content. Like, I made it myself majority of the time, and it's like I got a big following on there. I think I have like 7,000 followers or something like that. And it was like, that's cool, but it's kind of like splitting my personality. Like, I'm music, I'm really like about the music. I don't make like meme rap or whatever. I'm really just about it. And then when people see the meme page, they're just like, oh, what the fuck is this? Yeah. But both of those sides, it's me. And it's kind of hard to just to really realize a lot of times, like, oh, not everybody thinks like me. Like, even if I reference memes or whatever, if I'm like on my story, or I go live on my actual page, I'm just doing this and that, talking about this or that. It's like sometimes I realize, oh yeah, not everybody gets it. Like, you know, I gotta, you know, and then when I go on my meme page, I feel like I'm more like myself as far as joking around or whatever. Yeah. So that's kind of weird. And I don't think I've ever done anything that like makes me like make a spectacle of myself. I'm just kind of like, don't know where I'm going with it. But basically, I'm just trying to be myself, but trying to like have people understand, like, I'm about the music, but I'm also like laugh at this like dumb shit.
Yeah.
That's just my.
It's interesting. It's like It's funny because I see a huge parallels between like what you just said and like what I'm doing as well.
Yeah.
You know, because like I have like 4 different pages on different things.
Oh shit.
Like
okay.
I have the Sitdown podcast page, which is like only sit down stuff. Like it's only sit down stuff. And then I have like my personal one, where I post like more things about like just like that happens in my life or like whatever, like. And then I have like a gaming page.
Oh, nice.
Where I just like post like gaming content because like I'm really into video games and stuff like that. And then I have my TikTok, and then my TikTok is like really more like, I think I like to call it where I love to like experiment with things. You know what I mean? Like I like making like almost like memes of myself. You know what I mean? Like like, you know, like be like videos or like things like that, like little skits and stuff like that. And it's just more of me just trying to like experiment with things like that I like. You know, because like I like trying to like make people laugh and things like that, and trying to make like a funny joke or whatever. And so like TikTok's like where I experiment with that, but and so like it's really like this weird disconnect because like I think where you're trying to get at is like how do you like merge the two and basically get people to like fuck with your music. You know what I mean? That's really what it's about. Like and really what it is, I think it's transparency. It's transparency about who you are, and like because like you are the music, like, and I'm the podcast. But we also are ourselves outside of this. You know what I mean? So it's like personal branding is a huge part. And I think TikTok is where I'm trying to like establish my personal branding, because I feel like in Instagram it's hard to like grow. It's hard to grow right now on Instagram. So it's like a real like it's like a turtle race on Instagram. You know, like it's just like do like you, and like you'll rarely like fall into someone else's like explore page. You'll rarely fall into someone else's like feed or anything like that unless you're paying Instagram to do so. And so like that's kind of like why I've branched out to TikTok, because the sit down grows based on my guests. You know, because my guest has his own listeners and his own followers, and like then they follow the page because they want to see the show. Like they want to see like you speak. They want to see your episode, and like occasionally, like I always like to say, like if 100 people listen, I think 10 will stay. To see the next episode or go and watch the back catalog, which is good because it's a small growth. That means like if every episode I get 10, you know, that's fine with me, you know. But so that's how that grows. But then it's like my personal page on my other Instagram, it won't grow really because like I'm barely posting on it. I'm barely like putting work into it, and it's like I'm kind of stuck like with like the people that are already there, you know. Nothing wrong with them, but it's like these are the people I went to school with and high school with and all that stuff. So it's more like they're just like watching from afar. They're maybe hating. They're maybe this. So it's like I'm not gonna grow at all like that through that. So I've branched to TikTok where where now like I'm getting more people. But like on the TikTok, I have only like the sit down like on the bio and on the links and stuff. So when people go, they go there. And I've noticed because I've recently had a video blow up. It's like at like 800,000 or some shit like that. It blew up. So like on TikTok, and like because I post like once a day, but like one day I was like, fuck it, I just went crazy. Like I drank a Bang energy drink and I made 7 videos like the day. Like I made 7 videos like within an hour and a half, and then one of those hit. And it's like, and I went from like 60 followers to like 340 345 now. Like crazy, like within like a month. And but I've noticed I'm getting a lot more engagement to the Instagram now. And so like I think that's kind of like how I'm being able to merge the two, like because like now that my the sit down Instagram is like organically growing through the TikTok. And so I'm kind of just saying this, kind of just passing on the wisdom. You know, like that's really what this conversation is going, is passing on the wisdom and like bringing your personal branding into your like what you're doing, right, which is your music. So
you know, that's the crazy thing too, like because as we as I go on with the music, like, you know, I feel the progression in myself. And then when I started doing the meme page, because the type of memes I want to make, maybe I'll show you after this, but like you know, like, but anyways, it was really like when it started blowing up, I started getting more people to I was tagging like, you know, bigger meme pages, you know, oh, hopefully they'll notice me. And one of them did, and then they shared it in their story, and I started getting
some traction. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh damn. And whenever I go live on there, or in my bio too, I'm like, oh, check out my music, and then this and that. And I do have people like, it's slowly like spilling into my main page. I'm like, okay, I'll be like, in all my posts, I'll be like, oh, I appreciate it if you follow my main page, this and whatever. And I'll put my music in the memes too sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
And those, they'll hit, and they'll share them, and then I'll have people be like, oh, what's the song on the second slide? Or whatever. And I'm like, oh, it's this. And I pin that comment. And then a lot of times too, I feel like it's funny. I feel like on Instagram, maybe everywhere, but like I mostly use Instagram. Whenever the algorithm picks it up, it seems like they mostly pick up memes because people are just, you know,
it's most engaged. It's most engaged.
Yeah. So it's like a lot of times the algorithm will pick it up, and I'm like, oh shit, man, this is.
You gotta make friends with your algorithm.
Yes, yeah, man.
You gotta make friends with your algorithm.
Yeah, you know that concept is wild. I was like, oh damn, this is like blowing up. I'm using these on the hashtags or whatever, and like you said, yeah, I'll have people be like, hey, like I'll go live. I'm like, oh, what's up, guys? And then they'd be like, you know, we're talking, just bullshitting, and then there'll be that one guy, hey man, I fuck with your music, and I'm like, oh, thanks, dude, I appreciate it, you know what I mean? And just building a following through there, like the fact that they listen to the music, and then they see the, you know, like the memes and all that, and it's such a, I guess you could say it's a contrast, but I'm like, they kind of get it eventually, like they're just like, oh, this guy like is really about it. He's not just like rapping over like bullshit or like making memes, making meme rap, you know, stuff like that. Which meme rap is funny. I mean, it's just, you know.
What is meme rap?
I
can of worms.
Yeah, I know.
I've never heard of this term, meme rap.
Yeah, I guess it's more like how can I say it?
Like a PewDiePie, bitch lasagna.
Oh yeah,
that's meme rap.
Bitch
yeah, like
lasagna.
Yeah, like
it's
PewDiePie.
Just a joke.
Yeah, it's like PewDiePie's not like, he's not like an actual rapper, but he made a song like that. Or like, you know, people on YouTube, they just kind of make parody songs and they're cool, but
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying now.
Yeah. Like for example,
I've never heard that term though, but I know what you mean. I've heard things like this before.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like I feel like somebody like I used to listen to, I still listen to Ugly God sometimes because I do like his music, but like I feel like his stuff slowly went into like categorized as meme rap. I like how he raps, but sometimes I'm just kind of like, it's a little like when people are funny in their songs, I think that's really entertaining. But when it's a little too ridiculous, that's when it's just kind of like
reaching too much.
A little bit, yeah. I'm just kind of like, I want to know who you. You
want some substance eventually, right?
Yeah. Who are you really? You know, like when you're rapping about like, you got your bitch, and then every single bar, like I said, it's funny, it's cool, but then I'm just like, that's every song. I'm like, well, who are you? Like, what are you going through? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
What are you going through?
Yeah.
What are your problems?
Who hurt you?
Yeah. I'm just like, you know, so I guess that's like what the I feel like the interesting thing is on the meme page is really just like they hear the songs on the memes and they're just like, who is this? I'm like, oh, it's me. Like, that's you. I'm like, yeah. Like, oh, and they don't expect it because, like I said, it's just
a meme page.
Yeah, you know. So I've been growing a following there. Like I said, it's been spilling in my main page, and then even have some people being like, oh, like it's funny. It's kind of weird, but it's funny. I have some people be like digging more, like just like, oh, you're from here, and then I'm like, yeah. How did you know that? Like, what the heck? You know, you're really looking into it, like, like trying to figure me out. I mean, like, I guess somehow you get fans.
They're trying to find out your problems, dude.
Yeah, man. So it is funny. It's cool though. Like, you know, it's slowly building a following. It's crazy how it happens.
Yeah.
Like even on TikTok, I'll post some stuff on TikTok. I kind of post the same kind of video. You know, it's just like me like showing like, I don't know if you ever heard of the meme like the cursed images. No, it's just a weird picture.
Yeah, we're too deep in the meme world.
Yeah, honestly.
Deep in meme culture.
Yeah, honestly.
It's like top of the iceberg, we're at the very bottom.
Yeah.
You just have conversations just with memes.
Yes. honestly, man. Yeah. Like, so it's just like a weird picture with like some shit going on. But anyways, I'll have my song playing in the background and like I'm looking at the camera. I'm just like eating a chip. I use the green screen effect. And then I like move away and I'm just showing like I think right now I'm doing a thing, how to do this, and then when I move away, it's some weird shit. Like, you know, it's like how to drive a car, and it's just, I don't know, not what you would expect, basically, you know? And I think my recent one, I haven't been really consistent on it, to be honest, but my recent one, it got like over 600 views.
There you go.
And, you know, I was getting followers, and I was like, oh, cool. You know, I think it's funny because it's really off-putting, I guess. I think that's the right word.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's the type of humor I like. It's just very, like... absurd humor. Yeah.
I'm not. That made me think of this one video earlier, and I want to recreate it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it was like, it was this guy, and he was like, man, everyone asks me why, like, I don't why I don't eat peanut butter, and it's like, it just makes my cheeks really like puffy and things like that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna show you guys why, like, I don't eat peanut butter. And he's like scooping peanut butter, he eats it, and he's like, oh no, what's happening? And he walks away, and his ass is just like super fat. Because he said his cheeks, you know, you expect this, but it's just like, it's his ass cheeks that get fat. And so he walks away, and his ass was just super big. It was so funny.
Oh, what the heck?
I'm like, bro, I want to recreate that one. That one's hella funny.
Yeah, they got that bonky. That's great. Dump truck. Yeah, that's great.
I want to transition a little bit into, because you mentioned it to me that you wanted to speak on this, is about mindset.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you said like mindset in general, and then maybe like mindset like in like, I think like you're talking about specifically like Porterville, like the mindset there and stuff like that. I was interested, like what did you have to say about like mindset in Porterville and music and things like that?
It was more just like the mindset like of trying to pursue something. Like,
right.
I feel like with music and all that, there's a lot of like great artists from there, from like Tulare, Visalia, you know, Fresno. And I met a few of them, or I just like listened to their music whenever I was making the playlist. Right. And it's just fascinating to me sometimes, because I'm like, I'm pursuing music, and I'm like, I feel like I'm really, really about it. And then there's some people, sometimes I'm just kind of like, why aren't they about it? Or like, what's stopping them? You know, like, you know, where's like the type of mindset you have to pursue something, keep on going, and, you know, I guess learning and growing, I guess. I know it sounds a little jumbled, but it's just so like, we talk about it for hours, and I'm just always just so like, oh, why did this person stop? Or why didn't they just look up on Google how to promote this, or how to, you know, do that, you know? And sometimes, like, I guess where I'm trying to get at is just like, I forget sometimes that, not everybody thinks like me. Not that I know everything, but, you know, it's just like nobody really thinks like you sometimes when pursuing something. So I feel like the mindset is just very weird, I guess what I'm trying to say. Like the whole small town mindset, you know? They don't see that somebody could pursue something if they really stick with it and learn how to use the internet to their advantage, for example, or whatever. So that's just my biggest thing. Cause I've come across artists who were really good, and then they like stopped, and I'm just like, why did they stop? You know, they're really good, and I was like, I'm supporting them, you know, whoever else they're around supporting them, right? Like, I guess they don't see the bigger picture, you know?
Yeah, I think mindset's a funny concept, because it's like, it kind of comes and goes sometimes. You know, like, I guess like the philosophy of your mindset is more like really important. Because like, I'm like, and I think of like life mottos, like MOs. Yeah. Because I know like my life motto has always been like, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm gonna do the right thing until I get there.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, that's kind of what I've lived by like all my life. Like, because I've never been quite sure what I exactly wanted to do, like ever, like even going through school, like, and so I'd always just like, okay, like let's just keep it like simple, like where it's like for podcasting, it's like, okay, like I know to make this podcast right, I have to, you know, be active on social media. I have to post weekly. I have to, what that means is I got to edit. I got to make sure I schedule guests. I got to make sure that's all happening, right? And so sometimes, but like, and that's kind of what keeps me going. But then like the concept of like mindset kind of bleeds into like, like work ethic kind of, you know, and passion and things like that, because I've noticed like every time I post an episode, like I would just be so excited, like, oh yeah, like an episode, you know what I mean? But like, and like as I do it, and now I'm like, I don't know, like 50 weeks in or whatever, you know, so I've been doing this for a while, like every week, just posting every week. And I've noticed like there's kind of like the excitement has kind of dwindled down a bit, you know. I'm not as excited every week, you know, like that an episode's coming out, or, and I don't know what it is, you know, like I keep it going because that's my MO, right? Like I feel weird if I don't, but like as far as like excitement and things like that, it's kind of like where's that going? Like I'm still excited, I still love doing this is still like what I want to do, but it's like, why am I not, like, where is that going? And I think that's kind of what happens to people. And like what's holding me down is my base is that MO, so I'm gonna keep doing it because it's the right thing to do, because it's what I want to do. But it's like, if you don't have that base, I can see how you can easily just fall into like, I'm kind of cool, you know what I mean? Because like you know, because like just how you mentioned earlier, like it's like discouraging, you know, like because like I've been doing this for a while, and like I'm not quite exactly where I want to be, but I know it's like podcasting is such a long game. It's such a long game, you know. I guess it's probably the same with music. Like you're not gonna like post an episode and it's gonna go like you're gonna do numbers on your first episode, unless you're a celebrity or something like that. But as like if you're just like a regular Joe Schmo like me, like it's gonna take like years of like work, honestly, like, you know. And so and I think I'm at that point where it's like I'm almost like in the mid space, like where I feel like I'm like I have like a nice little listeners and stuff like that, but like not exactly like I'm not like anything significant or anything. And so it's just kind of like this weird like if I gave up now, who would care? You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like those questions come up in your head. It's like if I gave up now, no one would care, and like things like that, you know. So I can see like how like people, and I can see someone like maybe like you, who maybe like would look at me and be like, man, you were good, like why'd you stop? You know what I mean? But it's like, you know, I think those things kind of all come into play within like the mindset, you know?
Yeah, definitely, man. Like I feel that, because I mean, I still get excited too whenever I'll be like, I record a song, we finish it, and I'm like, wow, I want to release it, like, you know, right now. You know, because I think it sounds good, I'm like, let's go. But like I just, a lot of times I'm like, now whenever I look at videos how to promote this or that, I have to like kind of take time and be like, I need to paint the whole picture for people, you know, before I release something. So it's more lasts long, and they kind of like connect with them more. So so I still get excited when I release music. Like well, I released an album back in December. It was called, you know, Don't Ever Doubt Yourself. And that was more like, when it comes to music, I try to like inspire people, but it's also like I want that, even the title of that, to kind of just be like reminds myself like, oh, don't ever doubt yourself, you know. And it was just like so I guess what I'm trying to get at is just like I now that, you know, I'm going forward with it, and I'm just like, oh shit, what's next, you know? You know, and it's just so I could see that, you know. Sometimes I do get discouraged. I'm like, oh damn, it's not something's not hitting, or but I'm getting a lot more streams and listeners stuff than I did like a couple years ago, which I'm grateful for. But it was just kind of like, oh wow, like sometimes it's kind of lonely, to be honest, you know.
It is. You know, it's like a very lonely world, man. It feels that way, you know.
It does. Like, I mean, I have like friends who are like artists, and you know, they're doing the thing. I'm like, oh, that's cool, and they dig my stuff too. But there's some that I'm just kind of like, damn, I don't know where they're at anymore, as far as like, you know, like artistry and all that, you know. So it's just many things can come to play. Like maybe they don't have somebody that really supports them, you know, that has their back, and that sucks, you know. That's terrible. Or like there's some artists too that I've seen like in Porterville too. They're like the popular kid in high school or whatever. So whenever they made something, whenever they dropped something, and everybody, they knew a lot of people, they always like, you know, reposted it and, oh, check out my friend. I never had that,
right?
Like, you know, so like I felt like I had to work 10 times harder. So I wasn't given that attention so easily, you know. And that person who kind of got like there's a few people that I've known, they get it instantly because they're like, oh yeah, and they're so cool, and anything they drop, anything they post, everybody's gonna share it because they know all these people. They're not really consistent, like I don't think they're actually really passionate like that, you know. And it always puzzled me because I'm like, if I don't know, like I said, nobody thinks like, you know,
yeah,
me, you know,
they just had that work ethic on top of everything else.
Yeah, like I felt like if I had that, I'd use that to my advantage and just like, you know, like full force with it. But you know, I don't, so I have to work 10 times harder, which I guess it kind of builds character, you know.
It really does, yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm just kind of like, I'm just like, oh wow, like the stuff I look up on YouTube and all that, like how to do this, how to do that, it really puts it into a bigger perspective about what it is to pursue something, you know. I'm just like, damn, I have to do a lot more than I thought, but I want to do it because this is what I love, I'm passionate about it, so I'm just gonna do it, like, you know, and I'm gonna just figure it out, try to, you know, build relationships with people and like, you know, make something here because I really want to make something. I'm not like, I don't know,
yeah. That's actually that's a perfect leeway into the last questions here. Is like, what's your plan? What's your plan moving forward? Like, do you have like a specific goal in mind, specific like destination? Like, do you have an album coming? Like, what's next for you?
You know what? Like, that's something I really, I don't know. It's a hard question. Yeah. That's the question, man. Cause, it's weird because, it's kind of personal, but, I recently had a falling out with a friend of mine, which I don't understand why it was a falling out. It's another story, but anyways, so that really kind of threw me in disarray because, we record, like we were working together. We were like, you know, this or whatever, working, like he makes the master all my stuff, you know? So now I don't have that, and it was kind of weird these past couple months. I've just kind of been like off. Like I still wrote songs or whatever, you know, and I'm looking at beats. I'm planning out the whole album or EPs I want to drop or songs, but I still feel a little off, you know. So I guess my plan is just kind of like, I linked up with another friend of mine, and I have a couple recording studios that were like in Visalia that were just like, oh yeah, come through if you want to, like, you know, record. And paying for that is cool. I went to one of them. I went to Lush Waves, and it was cool. I only did one session, but I recorded like 2 songs, and it was cool. But I'm still trying to find like how I could like I guess get back on my feet, you know, like recording stuff. So I guess the plan is just really just trying to just get these songs recorded, trying to figure out what sound I'm going for, trying to get the whole thing going, because like I said, like every time I record something I want to like put it out, but then I'm just kind of like, no, I need to like you know like build like how we did with Don't Ever Doubt Yourself. We planned the music videos and all this stuff. It was like a consistent thing, and I guess just trying to stand out as much as I can, you know, right among other people, because I know we were talking earlier about how some artists around here, like I know I mostly talk about Mexican American rappers, you know, like, you know, it's just, I don't feel like, sometimes I'm like, how can I say it? I'm not like them. Like, I'm not, you know, I feel like lone. Yeah, I feel like I don't fit in because, you know, when people see a Mexican American rapper, like, it's just like, oh, they think, oh, it's gonna be like Bad Bunny or like some, like some cholo, like some fool, you know, like Mexicans saying the N-word in their songs, and I'm like, I'm not like that, you know, like, you know, so just where do I fit in? I know I kind of feel like I'm everywhere with this question, but it's just so it's all included though. Yeah.
These are thoughts that you kind of have to all go through, right? Like, trying to figure out what's next. It's like always that question like never goes away. Nah. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, what's next? And you got an answer for it, and then you do that, and then it's like, what's next? It's kind of ironic that Drake just came out a song called What's Next. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Dude, he knows, bro. He knows. Like, Drake's too goated, man. He's too goated.
Honestly, man, I love his music. Like,
can I ask you something real quick? Yeah. Was Doubt influenced by Drake?
Yeah.
I hear it. It sounds such a Drake sound that you have in there.
Yeah. I think it was actually a Drake Tory Lanez type beat. You know? Yeah.
I heard it, bro. You can hear it, like the soft singing, like beat, like it's like Drake's like signature.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's funny because I really like I said, I really love like Drake's music, Kanye West's music, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. A lot of art. I mostly listen to hip hop, but I also listen like indie rock and R&B too. But yeah, even finding my sound, it's so like how can I say it? Like, I know a lot of people listen to Drake, but whenever I'll see on the internet, and sometimes there's some people like, again, like Mexican American rappers, like, oh, fuck that fool. When they I listen to fucking this or that and whatever.
Fuck that fool.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking like, what the fuck, dude? Like if you wanted to, yeah, you see it. Oh, that fool fucking trash fool. Like, not just him, but like other artists too. Like, Kanye West, like, oh, fuck that fool. Fucking trash. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking like, what are they listening to? So I look into that. I'm like, oh, they only listen to other Mexican fools.
No, Cap G.
Yeah, well, yeah, Cap G. He's alright.
I like one of his songs. It was like the girlfriend one.
Yeah,
I think it's called Good. That one's hard.
Yeah. And that was the thing too. Like when Cap G blew up, I was like, oh damn. But then I listened to more of his stuff. I'm just like, oh, I'm not like that either.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just kind of like, it was weird. It's hard to identify with that. Sometimes just like I identify more with like black and white rappers than like Mexican American rappers, and I always trying to figure out like why. And then when I listen to them, I'm like, oh, not a lot of them are just like that gangster rap image that like even like the Mexican American rappers down south, a lot of them are just kind of like still rapping over the G-funk type beats and whatever, and I'm trying to bring something back that's already kind of over, like not that everybody should make like a Lil Pump type sound, but just kind of evolve with the sound, so
I mean, the thing, you have to be current and relevant to the time, and that's why Drake's the GOAT, because he's just like, he makes the music that's like already kind of like embodies the culture. I think is the best way to do it. Like, he embodies the culture of like what's going on, and he just puts like perfect wording to it. You know what I mean? I don't know if he writes it, but he like, it's just like everything he says is almost like it's like a caption. It's like a life caption. You know what I mean? That's like why he's hit so hard, because like that's what he's done perfectly and mastered that throughout his whole career. Is he just embodied so much of like realness of what people are really feeling.
Yeah,
just made that connection.
Yeah, and that type of stuff really like inspires me. I'm like, oh, how can I like how can I like reach more people? Because I mean, like, I feel like some artists, like Mexican American artists, like sometimes just like when they make songs, I guess this is my perspective, when they make songs, just kind of like, it's kind of like, only Mexicans will understand. And I'm like, I would like to reach Mexican American people, but I also want to reach everybody else. Right. It's a bigger world out there.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to just be pigeonholed to like, I'm
don't be niched.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like even the whole like Mexican guy being like a gangster, I feel like that's kind of like it's a
trope.
Yeah, a stereotype. Yeah. People fall into it all the time, and I'm just like, damn, like, I talk about it in my songs too. I'm like, I don't want to be like a stereotype. I mean, I feel like I don't already look like, I don't guess what people would think of Mexican American rapper looks like, Like, I remember we did some promo with that page, the Fool Community. They kind of promote like Mexican American artists and all this stuff. I did a couple promos with that, which, when people do promos, like when they pay for them, I feel like sometimes they like, the price is way too high, but I'm just like, okay, well, let's see where this goes. And I remember we did a couple times with the They Don't Know music video, and I think Only Way. No, not Only Way.
No, it was
what song was that?
The Chill Hop remix.
Oh, for All That.
All That.
Yeah.
For that one, they were talking shit like,
yeah,
because my hair's purple and I'm in the video, but it's like a video game character.
Yeah.
It's like, he's in the studio with Lava Girl and all that shit. I was like, okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we uploaded another one for They Don't Know, which is shot in 4K. Like, it's very good quality.
Yeah.
Acting and everything. The dude did such an amazing job, Jeremy.
Yeah, shout out to Jeremy.
Yeah. And they still talk shit about it. And it's like, you know what? They have nothing better to do with their lives.
Yeah.
This is what they do. Yeah. This is what they live for, It's whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, and that put in a different perspective too. I was just like, no matter what you put out, everybody's gonna talk shit about it.
You got something to say, yeah.
Everybody's got something to say. So I'm reading the comments, and I'm just kind of like, no lie. At first, it does hurt. I'm just like,
at first it does, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then I'm just kind of like, I'm reading into the more.
Then I'm getting mad too.
Yeah. I read them into it more. I'm just like, oh, this guy's not saying anything about the song. He's just talking shit about how it looks. And I'm just thinking like, well, what about the song? That's the whole point of the post. But
yeah.
There's more focus on how I look. Like, oh, whose uncle is this? Or like, shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, whose teacher is this?
Oh, this works at T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Things like that, yeah.
Yeah, this is the teacher that raps. Shit like that. It's funny, to be honest, but I'm just kind of like, whatever.
You just got to lean into it, man.
Yeah, because then when I see other posts about, like I said, Mexican fools rapping and they say the N-word, and then they complain too, like, oh man, like, he's Mexican, he's saying the N-word, da-da-da. And then, like I said, like how she's saying, everybody's gonna just talk shit. Nobody knows what they want. And then there's some times where they're just like, some comments are just like, oh, this is like the first guy who's like Mexican who's rapping, like, and he's not on some gang shit, and you guys still talk shit, And I was like, yeah, people don't know what they want, like, they just, nobody's ever satisfied. And that's kind of like I said, put it in a different perspective. I'm just kind of like, I'm just gonna keep on doing me, because I'm not gonna, like, nobody's satisfied. Nobody's like, I don't know, they just want to talk shit and whatever. And I'm just like, whatever, dude. Like, we're top percenters, bro. We're content creators, bro. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it's like over 80% just consume. And then like 10% like engage. And then we're left with the 5% who actually make the content that they all look at.
Yeah.
So.
That's true.
So fuck them, dude.
Yeah, honestly, man. Yeah, I'm just kind of like, because we were just like, oh yeah, let me try to like reach like the Mexican American community, see what happens. And like I said, we only did like 2 posts that we paid for. But then when we saw what was going on, I was like, oh, okay, then I see. Like, maybe we should try something else, just things like that. But it is interesting though.
It's still good to know. It's good insight,
Yeah.
It's good to be aware of like how people like take things.
Yeah.
How people consume them.
Yeah, and I never posted about like in my story like, oh man, they're talking shit. All I ever did was just kind of like, I'm like, oh hey, the Fool community featured me on their page, check it out. Then when people went to it, they're looking at all the comments like, oh shit. Like, I have even a couple people like DM me like, hey man, fuck those guys, whatever, and I'm just like, nah, it's cool, I'm good, I'm chilling. Whatever, yeah, it's whatever. But yeah, I'm just kind of like, it's just in perspective or retrospect, it's just kind of funny.
It is, it is. Like, I mean, I'd rather people like engage than not engage. Honestly, yeah. That's kind of how I feel about it. Like, even if someone like I think on this last episode, like someone commented and was like, this interview was good, but the interviewer was kind of dry or whatever, like talking about me and whatever. And I'm just like, and like I kind of took it, but I'm like, you know what, like, it's fine. Like, I'm happy you like cared enough to like comment. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm happy you cared enough to comment. Like, man, he actually gave it really respectfully, but he was still like saying like I was like dry or whatever. But I'm just like, it's kind of cool that you even like said anything. You know what I mean?
Those
Like,
are the critiques that you kind of like, someone's actually watching enough to comment on that.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's like, oh, I didn't like the way you said this in this song. Like, oh, well, you're actually listening to the song.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'd rather that. Yeah, because it just lets you know that they, that just means more, Yeah. So.
Definitely, man.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up here, dude.
All right,
This has been a great conversation. How I like to end the show is giving you your last words. Right. So kind of you can say whatever you want. You can say like something to your fans, say something to your future self, say something to whatever, because this will be up here forever.
Yeah.
So it's the last words on mic. When you pass it over, I'm gonna go ahead and close the show, and we'll be out of here, man.
All right, cool. Shoot, I don't know, man. I mean, like,
watch the music videos.
Yeah. Check out my music. We had a few music videos for my songs off of my Don't Ever Doubt Yourself album, and they're all on YouTube. You just look into my name, you'll find everything. The link in my bio.
I'll put everything in the description of the show too.
All right, cool. Yeah. So and I guess just look out for the new stuff I have this year, man. I'm a few songs in, but I mean, I'm just like, I got some shit. I don't know, man. You know, we're just moving forward after all this stuff. You know, we've been feeling the past couple months. Like I said, I've been, you know, kind of down and out, to be honest. I feel like it just builds character, and I'm just gonna just come back.
Yeah.
So I appreciate everybody who's listening to me and stuff, and tuning in, I guess. Yeah.
Press and play, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Even being on here, man, it's cool. It's really cool vibe.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a while since I've had a conversation with somebody like this, you know?
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Dope. Also, too, I kind of do this at the end of the show. I've done it like 4 or 5 episodes now.
Okay.
That's where I play like people's music at the end. So like the show and we're just going to transition to a song.
Okay.
So obviously we're going to play your music right now. Cool. I don't know what song you want me to use, man. I mean, I like a few of them. Is there a specific one you want me to play after the show?
Shoot, maybe, how about All That?
All That?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll get All That. If you can send it to me so I can have a clean file, and I'll just put it on.
Okay.
So yeah, guys, All That by Ishmael will play after this. It's going to nicely transition into it. But that's been me, your humbled and honored host, aka OMG, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Sit Down podcast, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Yes, sir.